Hi there, welcome to my channel. It's good to have you. Thank you for joining in. From the topic of a video today, allow me to start by saying that in every relationship, either it's a family relationship, a friend, a marriage relationship, you're going to have bad and good experiences. Now, in a couple of months, I'll be celebrating my 6th-year anniversary. And it's with that in mind that I sat down to meditate on the experiences I've had, my good and bad experiences, and the lessons that I've learned with that. I also thought that this information may help 2 or more people outside their heads. I decided to share. But before I do that, please subscribe to my channel, like, share, comment, and click on the notification bell, that one, so that when it's there, it's up there. So that when I upload a video, you'll be the first one to get notified. All right, so let's get into the video. My number one is understand your spouse. This is so huge for me, This I learned from a friend of mine. She's called Zilani. She would say that in so many bridal showers, and it's until when I got married, I realized I had to understand my man. In my first year and second year of marriage, we were still getting to know each other. That's the stage that I like calling honeymoon stage. You sort of want to please each other. You just want to make someone happy every time. And I enjoy taking photos. I love photos very, very much. Every time I would ask Benjamin to, let's do a selfie, let's take photos, let's do this, anything to do with a camera. I love cameras, okay? And he would do it. This is first year of marriage. We would take a lot of photos. I would tell him how to pose. If he's not smiling well, I would tell him, please smile well, stand like this, pose like this, and he would do it for me. Now, when we were starting to open up and I came to realize he does not enjoy taking photos. Oh my goodness. And I was like, what? But you've been taking photos. Like, yeah, I've been taking photos for you, but if you asked me, look at my social handles, I don't take photos. Especially with me telling him how to pose, when to pose, and with me carrying the camera everywhere I go. It's dinner, we're having out to take a photo, and so forth and so forth. Guys, I was so annoyed. I could not believe he doesn't want to take photos with me, and he sort of don't want to understand. But when I sat down and I said, you know what, he doesn't have to be in all of my photos, no? And that doesn't have to stop me from taking photos, because I love taking photos. And so it's at that moment that I understood him. And I said, well, that's fine. And through that, I'm at peace. I'm happy. I take photos wherever I have. I just have to respect the fact that he doesn't want to take photos, especially in the car and in public. He keeps on telling me, can't we take a photo somewhere else? Must it be in public or in the car? Anyway, guys, understanding your spouse in so many things. Don't compare. Don't wish that you'd want your husband to have certain aspect that you see someone else have it. Please just understand that, man, you will be the happiest wife ever. My number two is your children are not your marriage. Now, being a parent is amazing. We can all attest to that, but it can be tough. Taking care of a living, breathing human is not a joke. And what happens is that you tend to forget your other partner. And this happened to me. I remember when I got the twins, there was so much going on, there was feeding, there was changing diapers, there was making of schedules, there was waking up at night to feed both two people looking at you, clinics, as in, it was really, really a lot. And the challenge here is that you forget to be with the other person without the kids, you know. What changed for us is that we continued having our dates. I mean, this is something that you can do. I know you've heard a billion times about this date thing, but let me tell you, it works. You can go out and have coffee and talk about your experience, talk about anything. That's what we used to do, and we still do up to now. You know, we separated children from our marriage, because the moment that you put your children in your marriage, then your relationship automatically changes, because all you have in mind will be your children and you will be forgetting your other partner. So is it a hike that you like going? Do you do plays? I remember we used to do plays. Oh my god. We need to go back to that. Um, but we travel. We need to take the children up country. We need to call my sister to come stay with the kids. We do that. We go for walks. You can choose whatever you want to do and just build and continue building your relationship even in marriage. So my point is, make time for yourselves. My next point is, be honest and accountable to one another. Now, growing up, every time I would go out to play far from the estate, when I come home, my mom would ask me, so where are you from? Umetoka wapi? Then I would say, nilikuwa tu hapa. I was just here outside playing, you know. And it continued like that. Even in school, a teacher would ask me, where are you from? Where are you late? I'm like, no, teacher, I was just playing around here. I was just here. But in real sense, you were not there. You were so far away. And that caught up with me in marriage, because I remember in my first year of marriage, a couple of times I was visiting with my girls, hanging out, and by then I was not driving. So Benjamin would offer to come pick me, you know. So he would request that every time, tell me when you're done so that I can pick you, so that it's easier. I don't come and I don't spend much time there. I'm just coming to pick you as we go home. That's fine. But now, what I used to do, we've not finished the meeting. We probably not had tea. So I would ask him, just come, and he'll be like, Memaliza. I'm like, yeah, we're done. So by the time he's coming to pick me, we haven't probably finished what we were doing or saying. We haven't finished taking tea or whatever we were taking, or it's dinner, whatever it is. So he'd come in, of course, say hi, take a cup of tea. But remember, that was not his plan. His plan was to come, say hi, pick me as we go home. And I think he did that a couple of times, and until one day he told me, why is it that you can't be honest? Just tell me you're not done with the meeting. Give me more time, give me 15 minutes, give me 20 minutes, I'll be done. And then when you're done, call me. I don't know, in my head, I'm just thinking, okay, we're almost done. But remember now what I used to tell my mom when I was little, now it's coming to play. And let me tell you, it took time before I came to realize I can tell him, I'm not around, I'm not coming, I'm not here, I'm not done. And the moment I started just being honest, if it's time I'll be late, I'll be late. If it's time I'm not coming, I'm not coming. We're not through, don't come, I'll take an Uber. Oh my god, it was so liberating, you know, because for Benjamin, it is something that he does without even thinking. If he's going for a run, he'll tell me, I'm coming, I'm going for a run, I'll be back. If he's going for shopping, if he's going for a meeting, whatever he's doing, he will tell me. And this is because it was just fair and polite to say where you are. You know, you could be stranded, but no one knows where you are. You didn't say where you're going. You know, anything could happen to you, okay? And that brings to the question, to most of us, does your spouse know what you do, where you are, where you go? Do you update each other, you know, for safety purposes and for someone to just be at peace? My other point is communicate. I cannot overemphasize this point. I mean, communication is the key to a successful marriage. In my family, when you meet us together and you're having a conversation, either we are fighting, arguing, talking, laughing, whatever we are doing, we tend to raise our voices. And it just comes naturally. Like, we are super excited about a topic, we are angry, fighting over a topic, everyone wants to explain their point. And I don't know if it's because we were many growing up, and so if you did not say your point and you kept quiet, you sort of felt like your point was not heard. So you had to speak up and say your point. And even now, by the way, when you meet us, we just bubbling, we're just shouting and talking loudly. I get married to Benjamin, and if you know Benjamin, so calm, collected, as in he's not as loud as I am, one. And so it was really hard, you guys, let me be honest. It was hard to communicate because every time I felt I needed to say a point, I felt I needed to shout for him to hear me, you know. And by the way, when I'm talking while shouting, I don't realize I'm shouting. Me, I'm just saying, I just want the gist of a story, you know. And so he got to a point and he would tell me, you're shouting. Have you finished talking? Can I talk? I could not believe it. I'm like, what? I'm shouting? I'm not shouting. And with time I got to learn that I can communicate without shouting, that I can just be calm, explain my point, and he will listen, you know. And that taught me that I needed to listen more, you know. You have to give your other partner time to speak and air their views on different topics that you're discussing. And that really helped me. And with time I came to realize, by the way, in my family we do shout. Now after changing, learning that I can speak calmly, and I started doing it and I started practicing it even when I'm with my siblings, you know. And at some point one of my sisters was like, hey, nowadays you speak so calm like Benjamin. And I came to realize, indeed I do. If I have a point to say, I will wait for everyone to speak until actually at some point my dad would be like, Grace, speak. Do you have something to say? I have something to say, but I was giving you guys time to talk. So that has really helped. So guys, how do you communicate to each other? Must you shout? And listening more helps. Another aspect of communication is speak your views in terms of what do you think about finances. Communicate what you feel in terms of sex, what you want. Communicate in terms of even children. What schools do you want them to go? Where do you want them to transfer? Speak, 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 communicate. And also remember, do not assume. Oh my goodness, assumptions are going to drain you, because the moment you assume someone else is thinking or understanding you, you will be hurting all the time. So speak it out. Don't assume he knows, he feels, he understands. No. My other point is, have a united front. I honestly don't believe a marriage can work without couples having a united front, both in public and in private. Unity means oneness, and it's not as easy as it sounds, but it requires being intentional. Remember, having a conflicting view is not bad. It doesn't mean you have to be always on one page, but make it easier to harmonize different views. So it could be you have a different view about how you do your finances. I've heard so many couples doing their finances differently. Like for us, we have separate accounts, but we have common accounts, you know. Others is they've divided their duties and everything. I mean, whatever you agree, work as a team, work together. Just make sure that you accommodate each other, even in your views. And it's not a win-lose situation, it's a win-win situation. Remember that all that you're doing is to build your families, to build your marriage. And that's what I've come to learn over these 6 years, that whatever decisions we decide, they're for building us and our children. My last point and important point, to me, I've learned to let God be the center of my marriage. I've ensured that God is in our business, and having that belief that there's someone who loves you beyond, you know, unconditional love, it helps you be able to love your other partner. Enough times Benjamin would tell me that treat me as a child of God. Oh my goodness. And with time you get to learn how does a child of God wants to be treated. How would you want God to treat you? And for sure, God has been the center of our marriage. We just want to get guidance from His Word, and there's nothing good like having a partner who you are able to pray together. It is so beautiful to see someone praying over your life, and even your children seeing what you are doing and just making it as a tradition that you're praying together, that you're serving God together in different aspects, that you're doing things together for God. And to sum it up, I just want to say I've learned to speak words of scripture over my marriage, that two cannot walk together unless they agree. That enough times I'm reminded by 1 Corinthians 13. This verse may seem so easy to say, but it speaks volumes. That what is love? It is patient, it does not envy, it does not boast, it does not keep a record of wrong, it is not self-seeking, and love does not delight in evil but rejoices in truth. And that keeps on reminding me how I treat the child of God. Yeah, there are so many lessons I've learned, but these were top of my list. I also acknowledge I'm still a baby in this institution. I'm sure there are many people who have grown way beyond where I am. And I'm curious to know if you experience similar things in your marriage, and if you have additional tips to enjoy marriage. Please comment and let's learn more from each other. That's what I had for you today. God bless you. Until we meet again, adios.